Hey, Juventini, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alberto, and I'm going to bring you all the news surrounding Juventus to today, June 3rd. That's right, including the latest on Nicolo Fagioli and a team in Serie A that is waiting for things to fall apart and no renewal to come from Juventus. We'll find out who that team is today. Then we're going to get to the 4 targets Juventus have apparently named to replace Alvaro Morata. Are you going to like that list? I don't know. Let's find out, Juventini. And last but not least, discussions are starting to heat up again over Zaniolo heading to Juventus, and we'll get to that as well. Let's go. All right, Juventini, quick reminder to like the video and subscribe to the channel. All right, if you're a diehard Juve fan, just like all of us at All Juvecast, this is your one-stop shop. It's all Juve all the time. So make sure you like this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel. Now, without further ado, let's get to the news. So gamers out there, Juventus contract with Pez has come to an end, and they will be fully licensed in FIFA again. That's right. And it may not be called FIFA next season. Everybody's waiting to hear the latest on that, but they are back. So that's right. All the clubs, patches, stadiums, everything is going to be fully returning to the franchise. So there you have it. Now, let's get to the Mercato rumblings. All right. So Nicolo Fagioli, we know that we've heard over the next couple days, he's going to be having meetings with Juventus over his future. We know what the player's looking for, which is some type of commitment from Juventus and hopefully integration into the team soon. If that doesn't happen, he may not renew. And now teams are starting to lurk around the midfielder to try and pick him up. And Sassuolo is the first. That's right. Sassuolo waiting in limbo to see if this renewal falls apart, as they might pounce trying to pick up the midfielder. So there you have it. That's the latest on Fagioli. Now, let's get to our defender, Rugani. So Daniele Rugani, reports today say that Juventus has given him an ultimatum to lower his salary or find another club. You have to laugh over silly season because these headlines and how they're put out there is generated just to strictly gain interest and whatnot. But Juventus may have asked Daniele Rugani to lower his salary. That part could be true, but in order to give him an ultimatum like that, it really means nothing. And I can't see that happening because they are under contract. The contract would have to be broken by both team and player. Not only that, he's fully entitled to the contract money that it was signed at, which is around 3 million euros, and he's contracted until 2024. So nothing will be broken unless Rugani agrees and the club agrees. And not only that, but he could quite easily just stay as he's entitled to it because it is a signed contract. So again, Juventus may have just asked him to lower the salary, which is fine, but the rest, take it with a grain of salt. Silly season continues on. Now let's get to Costage. Costage. We've heard a lot about Costage over the past few weeks, and this has gotten a lot of Juventini excited. And now we have the latest, which is that there is a agreement between player and club. So Juventus has an agreement with the player over a salary that will not exceed 3 million euros, which is great. Great business if Juventus can pull it off. But there is still no transfer offer from Juventus, no official bid for the player, but terms have been agreed upon, and Kostic is willing to make that move to Turin. So we continue to wait on that one. And that's a move that actually excites the majority of Juventini out there. So yeah, we wait to see what develops on the Kostic front. Now, Alvaro Morata, highly likely to be leaving Juventus, as Atletico Madrid just simply unwilling to budge on that transfer fee for Juventus. And now 4 targets have been named that Juventus is looking at: 1 Arnautovic, 2 Dzeko, 3 Milik, and 4 Muriel. What do you think, Juventini? Let's go. I can feel the heat coming from the comment section right now over that list. So look, in my humble opinion, Arnautovic and Muriel, legitimate options that you can look at. Dzeko and Milik, I would not look at whatsoever right now. Now, don't get too fired up because there are other forwards that Juventus is still looking at. And we got to remember that we have more leaving that are confirmed already. So it's not just Morata that will be leaving. We've got Bernardeschi gone. We've got Dybala gone. And we've got potentially Moise Kean that's going to be moving on. So there's going to be more forwards. It's not going to be just this one forward out of this 4 list. They're just looking at somebody that can be a vice to Dusan Vlahovic. And out of these, I'd have to say Arnautovic and Muriel I would consider. Probably Arnautovic slightly edging out everybody on that list. But that's the latest there. Now, in terms of other forwards Juventus has shown interest in, Gabriel Jesus is on that list and apparently highly admired by Allegri. We have Zaniolo on there. We also have Berardi. Of course, Raspadori. There are other options out there. Don't get too down in the dumps there, Juventini. Okay, but Zaniolo, the latest on him as talks have started to heat up over the past couple of weeks, is there was last week in a meeting between Juventus and the players' entourage, And just to reiterate that the player is still willing to make the move. And according to all the reports today, he is. Okay, so Zaniolo is willing to make the move to Juventus, but this is only going to happen apparently if Juventus sells. So Juventus must get some outgoing deals in order to make this move for Zaniolo, but the player is still willing to move. And we heard a lot about him being very, very close to renewing with Roma, but nothing ever came of it. So he still has not renewed with Roma either. So we just wait to see. But the biggest one out of this news is the outgoings. Juventus needs to start making some sales if we want to see enough of a change. So that's the fear that many Juventini have here, and it's quite valid fear. If Juventus doesn't get some outgoings happening soon, they're not going to have a lot of wiggle room to make maneuvers with. Obviously, Di Maria and Pogba are slated to make their announcements. Those are as good as locks, according to a lot of the top dogs in journalism surrounding Juventus. Pogba could be announced next week, and Di Maria very, very soon. So those ones are frees with decent salaries that we can manage, especially when you factor in the players that we know are confirmed outgoings. But outside of that, Juventus does have some spending money, but in order to make enough moves and certain moves, Juventus is going to have to make some deals. And right now, it's awfully quiet on the outgoing front. And that I don't like, because if we want to strengthen our teams enough, they're going to have to make some moves. So let's wait. And hopefully these outgoing talks start to pick up again, because right now it's far too quiet to see enough change that we need to get that boost for the team. So let's just wait and see. That's all we can do, and see where the dust settles, and then judge this team on the Mercato at the end. And then more importantly, watch this team play on the pitch to see what ultimately happens. But right now, very, very quiet on the outgoings front, and I don't like that. So let's see what happens. Juventini, that brings you to the end of the video and the end of the news to June 3rd. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, drop your comments, your thoughts, your opinions, your questions, everything in the comment section of this video. I've had a blast mixing it up with all of you so far over the past week of the Mercato rumblings, and I'm going to look forward to continuing that all summer. So let's see what Juventus can do, but drop your comments. Can't wait to talk to you all. Till tomorrow, fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti.